50 elected officials and business people, and the whole rumor I have is that he did really, really well, and being that RTD role might suit well for him.
And he's leaving.
Dressed up in the suit and tie. He looks sexy. Oh, I can't say that.
And it was recorded.
Speaking of that, let's go ahead and get started. I know I'm poking fun a little bit at that, but we had our retreat this week with the EMT, and one of the main things we talked about was this sexual harassment, workplace violence, all the types of things that we go through in work, right? One of the topics was sex harassment, workplace sex harassment, gender, whatever we have that we deal with in this. We're a very diverse organization. And what somebody thinks is harassment, someone else might not, right? I will tell you, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. One of my weaknesses, I occasionally will use a bad word. No one's ever been around me when I've used a bad word. But I occasionally will use some foul language. If that offends you, please, you need to tell me. One of my employees has told me that. Said, I don't like it when you cuss, and I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm sorry. But if we don't know it's an offensive action, then we don't know how to fix it, right? So if something offends you that's not really bad, then you need to just let that person know. You should always let that person know, hey, that is not professional, that is not respectful. How many people have seen our values in here? And they're updated. Are they all hanging? We haven't got the new posters yet. But we got to really be cautious of what is harassment or what bothers somebody. We have PDs on all this stuff too. So we really got to be cautious and get into those PDs. Work with your supervisor if you feel like you've been harassed. Work with their civil rights group. Don't ever think you can't come and say, Johnny, I feel this. I would rather you do that and us do an investigation and us figure out what's really going on than you feeling like you have nowhere to go. So do not ever sense you don't feel like you have somewhere not to go. You should always have somewhere to go. If you're not comfortable with with us in our civil rights unit, then we'll get you to Denver. So don't hesitate to bring all that forward. Now let's make sure that we understand that we've done everything we can on our own. I know none of this is easy and none of it's easy to discuss, but we've had some of that stuff go on around the department, and we just want to make sure that we're staying on top of it. There's going to be new training coming out. It's going to actually, I think, when Susan's done, is going to be very good training. She's going to say, here's what it is and here's what it isn't. How many people have ever been trained to what it isn't? Right? There's a lot of people. We can all recognize the big stuff. If I was to role play with Juliet right now, and Jared's over there going, no! But if I was to walk up to her and say, hi, sweetie, what are you doing tonight? That's probably not appropriate. Right? That is not what is appropriate. So there's going to be a lot of that. And then stuff like, hey, Juliet, how was your night? Did you have fun? Did you have... She might be offended by me asking her a question, but those are the types of things they're going to train as what is and what isn't. So you can better identify what it is. So when you see that start coming out, I ask everybody in the region, because I'm being filmed, to take the class and make sure we understand it, because it helps us. It helps us become the best DOT. So get in front of it. Don't be hesitant to bring it out either. So any questions on that? Real quick, any questions? Going once, twice. Okay. So we had our retreat, as I said earlier. There's going to be some changes, right? Shaylin is a different person than me and than anybody else. He's different than Mike. They're pretty similar in nature in terms of what they want to do and where they want to go. One of Mike's number one goal is to maintain the integrity of what him and Shaylin have built, right? Caring about your employees, right? 2 reasons we exist. Can anybody tell me what Shaylin always says? Oh, that hurts. Saving people's lives and making people's lives better, right? That's what he's always said. It's that customer experience. It's that, how are we gonna make people's lives better? So Mike's vision is no different than that. You'd always hear him say the same thing. So he's gonna work on that. He's gonna work on maintaining a really good DOT, working towards the best DOT in the nation. Those things are not gonna change. His priorities, he's gonna maintain Road X, he's gonna maintain autonomous vehicles and all the stuff that Shaylin's had, right? But he's got a little bit different plate, right? If we go to a ballot initiative in November, he's got a lot to do to get to November with that ballot initiative, right? So he's gonna start focusing on projects and the list and what are the projects gonna be if we do make it to the ballot? Where are we gonna be? Are those projects on time? Oh, by the way, are your projects you're working on today maintaining your brand, right? I-25s, US 34s in Region 4, US 85s. Are we doing what we said we're gonna do? Those are the types of things I think Mike's gonna focus on more, preparing for a ballot initiative. And those are the types of things that we discussed. We went through and we talked about all the things that we're doing and all the things that we need to stop doing, right? Because we all do that. You all should look at your list of all the things that you're doing, that you're working on, and then over here on this side say, what can I stop doing? Sometimes you'd be surprised of things that you're doing you really don't need to do. We found some of those. So it's good because it really makes you focus on your priorities and where you're headed. So do that. We did that. There's some things that are going to stop and there's some things that are going to continue. The peaks will continue. Can anybody tell me the peaks? People, system, technology. So those will not change. Can anybody list off the base camps? Yeah, that's what I thought. We are working still on those base camps, right? And we're going to continue to work on those base camps, so please stay focused on those. There's going to be some organizational change. It won't come out until probably officially till Friday, but I'm going to give you a little preview of what you're going to see. Right now we have an executive director with Shaylin, and then we had a deputy director and COO, Chief Operating Officer. It was all the same position. That was Mike. Now as of Monday, Mike is now the director and his position is vacant. We're going to leave that vacant. They're going to share those duties. Amy is going to take operations and take Rodex and Tismo, and Herman is going to fill the role and be acting deputy director. So there's going to be that line so Mike doesn't have to sign all the deputy stuff like official functions and things that I send to him. The RTDs will all report directly to Mike. So we won't report to Herman because Herman doesn't need that role. So you'll see some changes in the org charts come out. It's really not a change in organization, it's just reporting structure. You know, we can look at org charts day in and day out, and I mean, we spent probably 4 hours on discussing what an org chart should look like, where should people be, where shouldn't they be, and at the end of the day, it's not about what the org chart looks like. What is it about? The people in the box, right? It's the people that you work with every day, so it really doesn't matter where that is or where it's at or who you report to. It really depends on that person in that box. So you'll see some of those shifts. Chad, emergency management, which I don't know how many of you guys work with Chad. He's going to go under maintenance. Safety is going to stay separate under the deputy director because it's an important role. We got to make sure and maintain safety. It's our #1 focus, right? But there's going to be some changes. Nothing major. We will not see this place change in how we work or where we're going at all. Mike is going to have a very direct focus. The joke was, who was funnier, Mike or Shaylin? Well, we all picked Shaylin because he was still here. Now Shaylin's gone, so we're going to say Mike. Not really. But so they're really similar in personality, so we're really lucky to be transitioning over this last year to a same kind of type of people that we had the last 3.5 years, because I really think in the last 3.5 years we've seen some big changes in the organization in terms of people and caring and working and getting out in front and trying to get us a tax initiative and get some money back into the DOT, because I will tell you, ramp's over. You guys are going to be hearing things over the next few months. I'm going to transition into this one now with program management. Ramp is over. Can anybody tell me what ramp was? Larry.
Responsible acceleration of maintenance and projects.
Thank you very much. So that is done. As of December of this year, ramp is now officially over. That was advancing dollars, right? Making our program bigger over the last 5 years. So we went from a $300 million base program to a $700 million base program. Guess what happens this year when we go into next year's construction season? We're dropping back down to around a $300 million base. So work around the state, instead of seeing $790 million, you're going to start seeing $300 million base. That was the plan. That's been the plan. So when you start hearing we're dropping, we're not cutting anything. What we're doing is getting back into our normal program. We've accelerated, we've brought down our cash balance from $1.5 billion to $150 million in the bank. So that $150 million is an emergency fund, right? So if you need extra money or you need something here, that fund needs to stay between 150 and 200. But we're already drawing it down below the number that they're comfortable. So in 5 years, we've taken it from 1.5 billion down to 150 million. That's a significant amount of expenditure, right? We're there, we're done. So don't panic. Don't go out and start saying CDOT's broke. Instead of doing $790 million, we'll probably do about $500 million in construction, which we did that before the flood. One thing this region has is a lot of flood work still, so we're going to see that. Now that base program does not include flood or bridge enterprise. That's additive, right? That is all your assets, your faster safety, your resurfacing, your bridge, your culvert, your hotspot, your RPP. I'm missing one more. There's 7 programs: culverts, bridges, tunnels. We don't have tunnels. But those programs were the ones that when we talk about our base, that's what maintains the department, maintain what we have, right? So that's the programs we're talking about. So that's where we'll be. Don't panic. We run our workload utilization. How many people are aware of our workload utilization in the region? We run that. We still are good with the staff we have. We still stay busy. Instead of being 130% utilized, you're going to be 120% utilized, which is good, right? We're still working, we're still busy. So don't panic when you see those numbers start rolling around. You're going to start hearing about this stuff more and more because we're going to start getting out in the public with this. Do not panic, it's okay. We're right where we were before, all right? I know how rumors start. We are not broke. We are not laying anybody up. We are not doing anything stupid. We are back to our normal program. How many people remember 2012 that were here? Were you busy? Still busy, right? Just not as busy. So we're going to be busy. So don't worry about it. Everything's under control. That's about all I have. Is there anything, Jared, from PI?
So just a quick reminder, photo contest. We still are looking for entries. They're due by January 5th, close of business. And I'm guessing you're going to talk about the thing on Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess that's all I have.
You could have just seconded.
No, because now you get to be it.
Yeah, so Monday, remember you guys, we have our holiday lunch Monday, I believe 11 o'clock. And there is a sign up genius that Beth has sent out to sign up for different categories of food. RLT will be providing turkey and ham. And then we do have an interchange meeting that we're having after that, so those folks can come into the meeting who are out within the region. So we have that at 1:30 on Monday. There's something else I'm forgetting, I know it. No? So we hope that you're all here for that and we're able to enjoy the holiday lunch.
Pete, IT, computer rollouts. Are we still up for December 18th, I think? Right? Do I hear Pete coming? You went that way. Huh? New employees? No, I'll get to that. So before I get to the new employees or any other announcements, I went through the new building, the new headquarters building, Tuesday. We're pretty lucky. I mean, even that building, that's, it's gonna be beautiful. It'll be 100 times better than the old building. Great location, actually, enjoyed the location. We spent some time downtown, downtown's, you can spend so much time down there, it's pretty expensive, but we spent some time downtown. But the building is going to be beautiful. But I will tell you, Region 4 is pretty lucky, right? I mean, you look at our building and you look at their building and you look at Region 2's building, they're both gonna open sometime in April. I'm pretty fortunate to be working in an environment that we're in here at Region 4 right now. But that building that's 4 stories of just massive amount of people. Would someone say 837 people down there? It's gonna be a lot of folks down there because it includes Region 1 and headquarters. So you're seeing a lot of influx of people. But it's definitely what you would see in more of a big building kind of environment. This is more of a smaller building kind of environment. You'll see the difference, but they're going to be very fortunate. It's going to be nice down there. So when you do go down, you're going to see a great workspace down there too. So I was pretty impressed. They have a lot to do between now and April, and I don't know if they're going to get it done, but they said they are. Quote, reminded me of the days of walking through this building going, well, finding bent studs and doing this and doing that. He looks at me, I said, I did a building walkthrough before, so just ignore me. I wanted blue sticky notes going around, putting on everything so they knew what to fix. But you guys will love that place. It's going to be a nice place to work. So any other updates from anybody? Anything? Larry, thank you very much. Come on up here. You're on TV, brother.
Oh, boy. Well, just so that you know, one of my employee, Jonathan Woodworth, was successful at passing his PE in October. So I think it's worth it out. Unfortunately, he's on a project right now and can't be here today. So, but it's quite a success to have some of our employees pass their PEs. So that's a gem. Perfect. Thank you.
That is a big feat. And another person that passed, and I don't see her in the building, is Lauren Boyle. She passed hers too. I will tell you, as a professional engineer, the best thing you can do is pass that P and get it behind you. I still wake up in cold sweats pretending that I have to go take that test again. And it's a terrible thing just to get it over with. So please join us on Monday. I don't see you before the holidays, which I think I will. Have a great Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. If anybody's taking, I know a lot of people take time off. And like I said last time, be safe. And sure there's nothing else. Rich, you have anything on the building stuff?
I'm glad the PA's working.
The PA's working.
And also, we need to go up there.
Yeah, something, yes.
And new employees.
Huh?
Don't forget new employees.
Thank you. I just want to remind people, Gene is super busy here in the building. Please log in on the SharePoint if you have requests for work to be done around the building. It's very important that that all gets logged in so he can keep track of everything, as well as property or the maintenance management. Keep track of what he's doing and how he's doing it and the workload for him. So be sure and log those in.
Thank you, Rich. Okay, last thing, new employees. I know I have one. I see one. Is there any new employees?
Yeah.
Two.
And you got Aaron Wilson.
I got the one. I
I
have.
didn't know who you had, you didn't tell us.
So why don't, Cindy, you want to come up and introduce her? And Aaron comes too. Come on. That's all right. Come on. Come on. Come on.
This is Aaron Wilson.
Wait, no.
This is Orange Square.
This is Aaron Wilson, my replacement, and we're training this week, and I think she's going to be a really good addition to Region 4. And everybody can say hi.
When was your first day?
It was Monday.
Monday. So I'm gonna have you stand here and hold that mic.
Okay.
So I want you to tell me where you're from,
Okay.
where you've been.
I'm
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
born and raised in Greeley, so I'm from here. And I grew up here, graduated from Greeley West. I have a degree from UNC. And my hobbies include running, hiking, and swimming in the ocean when I can.
Awesome.
Like good?
Welcome.
How do you
That's
like
perfect.
that?
And we have another employee.
Yes.
Well, yes, you're gonna do it.
So we have another new employee, Rodney Arnold. He is our new safety specialist.
So where are you from?
I am originally from Tennessee, West Tennessee, but I'm retired Air Force. I spent 23 years in the Air Force.
Another one. Where's Tim? Tim's retired. Our maintenance superintendent's retired Air Force.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got to be a good guy. I've met him. I spent 23 years in the Air Force as a bioenvironmental engineering technician. That was occupational health, environmental, safety, Nuclear Regulatory Commission, all of that type of stuff. I kept those agencies off the Air Force's back, and I'm here to keep them off for y'all's back too. So,
Awesome.
so glad to be here.
Well, welcome to see you. So is there anything else? All right, well, have a great rest of the week, and if I don't see you, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. Thank you.